I am now at the near end of my trip. I only have today left, really, and tomorrow I have to be at the airport in the evening. And I just wanted to sum up my experience. Like, look at how beautiful this is. There's so much of a world that is meant for us to go and discover. And I've had such an amazing time on my own because when you're by yourself, not only are you discovering the world, you're also discovering yourself. So something in my intuition told me that I needed to do something that I haven't done before. And that was to camp out in my car. That's not something I normally do. Some of you out there are going to be like, oh my god, you did what? And others of you out there are going to be like, that's really not a big deal, I do it all the time. But it's something that I have never done before. The very first night that I did it, it was really difficult. I was really scared. I was worried that someone was going to break in the car and blah, 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 that kind of other stuff. On this trip, I probably did it 2 or 3 times, I would say. I did it again last night, and there's something to be said about conquering your fears, so to speak, or doing something that you're not normally comfortable with. Because last night I had such a nice deep sleep, I was underneath the stars, it was actually the most beautiful thing. That reminds me of when I was in South Africa. I went on an 18-kilometer hike one day, and my Airbnb guy was kind of telling me where I could go, what I would see, what I would experience. And I remember him distinctly saying, the tides come in really high, you need to be back by 4 p.m., otherwise you're not coming back at all. So that's really scary for me because I've had 2 near-death experiences in the ocean, and that is more than enough that I ever want. And I do now have, even though I'm a really strong swimmer, I have those 2 near-death experiences, and I have seen someone drown before, so I do have a little bit of fear when it comes to water. Anyways, I was walking down this beach, I climbed up this hill, like mountains of rocks much like this. It was super high. And I knew I could climb down, but I was really scared that I wouldn't be able to climb back up before the tides came, and then what was going to happen? I don't know, I would be stuck or maybe eaten by the ocean. But I remember him saying to keep going. You're going to think you can't go anymore, but it's going to be very beautiful. I probably sat there for about 10 minutes, humming and hawing, going back and forth. Should I go? Should I not go? I climb down a rock, climb up a rock, climb down a rock, climb up a rock. And finally I'm like, you know what? Just go. Worst case scenario is you're going to be stuck on some rock somewhere and you have a cell phone. You can call someone to come get you. So I did. I climbed down these rocks. I walked down this very little narrow pathway, and I walked for about 10 minutes until it opened into this big, beautiful clearing, and there's this big natural tidal pool that you can go snorkeling in. One thing I love about South Africa is they didn't commercialize the whole place. Like, it's just everything's in nature. You can see the penguins, you can see whales, you don't have to pay to do it. It's just such a beautiful place. And there was so much beauty that I couldn't even capture with a picture or with words. And I wouldn't have witnessed it if I wasn't able to conquer my fear of going through that. And the same thing with sleeping in a car, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was a little nerve-wracking for me at first because I've never done it before. The lesson in all of that is that everything that you want and all the beauty that you could ever imagine is outside of where you're comfortable, because everything that you've already seen is not that it's not beautiful, but it's never going to expand your horizons. So I'm going to leave you with this exercise. It's what I like to call stretches. The idea is once you stretch, you can't stretch back. You're like a rubber band. And so it's to challenge the ego. The ego is what you identify with. So for me, I identify with being a young Asian girl, I'm a beautician, blah, blah, blah. All these things are part of my ego. And I was reading in this one meditation book, it's good to challenge your identity so that you're always teaching yourself that change is normal and that you can adapt to it. So the exercise is this. Once a day, do something different that's easy. Once a week, do something different that is hard. And once a month, do something different that you think is near impossible. And what is different and easy and hard or impossible for you is different for the next person. So, for instance, one morning I wanted to challenge myself with something easy. I thought I would have my coffee after the gym, and halfway through my workout, I was like, this is not an easy thing for me. This is actually a hard thing. So I'm switching it up for my week's task. No, I didn't do that, but that's what I felt like inside. Continually do this. And how you know that it's the right stretch for you is if it makes you feel a little bit nervous or a little bit uneasy, that's absolutely what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Start as of today. Start doing something different, and it's like Darwin said, survival of the fittest, and those who survive are the ones that adapt the fastest. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. please follow me on my channel. It's going to be really random. I don't really have any type of schedule of when I'm going to post things. It's just going to be whenever I capture a beautiful moment such as this. So until then, expect something amazing to happen to you because I am sending love your way. Bye!